Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? It is February 19th, 2019, Tuesday. You know, my Witches or Snitches video was met with mixed criticisms, which I kind of expected, you know. I knew putting that out there, I was gonna get mixed criticism. And that's totally fine. A couple of my friends have more or less... I'm in the minority of them. I'll just say that. I'm in the minority when it comes to not going to the police to solve a problem that can be easily fixed by getting your witch on. Now, in that video, I pointed to Haitian Bakor Leonard Elmera's video, where he talked about spiritualists and witches and all of that going to the police instead of, you know, getting their witch on. And yeah, I agree with him. I totally agree with him. Nothing's going to change my opinion on that. But like I said, my friends view that differently. They're saying, well, it just makes it easier. Okay. Fair enough for you. But for me, I personally don't see it that way. You know, yeah, magic takes the path of least resistance. I've said this many times, and you can especially watch that in my Microwave Witches video, where I talked about that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be some obstacles in the way. Magic just takes the easiest way. They feel that, you know, going to the police to get somebody to leave you alone online. I mean, okay, fair point. Fair enough for you. But, like I said in the video, I view it differently. If you are outside my door trying to get in, and you trespassing, that's when I'm going to call the cops. If you're stalking me in person, just when I'm going to call the cops. But saying and stalking me online, like with Emily Stevenson, who, by the way, promised on Hellbound Heathen's video last night, his last live stream, The Agnostic Pagan, she promised that she'd stop. And not even an hour after she got off, she went right back to stalking and harassing. Hell, she even made a video of it. So, yeah. And, the police have been called on her before. My point exactly. It didn't do nothing. But pulling your witch pants up and doing some shit, that's different. And that was the point of my video. Because I agree with Mr. Elmera. At least on that. But like I said, hey, if you want to go to the police and make your spell work easier, you do you. But like Lord Josh Allen of Lamat 777 always says, be different. Break conformity. Be different. And sure enough, that's what I'm doing. Fortunately, I haven't had too many problems. Uziel being the primary problem. And really, that's it. Of course, that was an actual witch war, so that wasn't stalking her or harassing or anything, but that was an actual witch war where magic was used against each other. Exhausting my resources to get this bitch. But some points were made in the comment sections, or in the comment section. The one that pissed me off the most, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, the one that fucking pissed me off the most was splash damage. That pissed me off the most. I know all about fucking splash damage, thank you very much. I have to see it every single time I look back at my Facebook memories and I see any picture of Mr. Mumbles, Marge, or Pesky. I see it every time I go to my profile and I see Mr. Mumbles hugging me. I have to see it every fucking time. My cats suffered while I was suffering. So I know about splash damage. But then again, Uziel is a deranged lunatic. She doesn't give a fuck. Her best friend got whacked. She doesn't give a shit. That's just more of the profit for herself. You see, her friend was in cahoots with each other. You know, they split the money they got from me and any other poor soul that fell for that little fucking romance scam from hell. But her friend got whacked. She doesn't give a shit. She cried for like 10 minutes. And was back at it. Less profit for her to split. So she does not give a shit. There are people like her that don't give a shit. Who gets hurt along the way that is around the intended target? And I've said this in my videos prior. Write down exactly what it is that you want very specifically. And do not stop until you get it to where you feel it is just right. Especially in my Microwave Magicians video, where I said, oh, I want $1 million. Or I want $1. Okay. You get that $1 million. But you got hurt in the process, or someone in your family kicked the bucket and you inherited that money. You have to be specific. See, I don't understand why people think I don't get it. I do. Why? Because I'm young? Because I'm inexperienced? I don't understand that. I really don't. And I'm not mad about that part. I don't understand why people think I don't get it. I do. I get it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've experienced it. At the hands of some sick, twisted individual who doesn't care about anyone, anything, other than getting that money into her pockets. But some things have been set forth to make sure she ends up eating her words. I've made sure of that. And as I made in a video back in July, that came to fruition. Now my brother from the Black Tower, he looks at it as the spirit I summoned taking my tooth and making that spell happen. I don't disagree with him. I'm open-minded. I like to think, as well, that the spell happened, but that spirit came back to take what was offered. Because the spirit is wild and crazy. It cannot be controlled. It does things on his time. And that's why certain spells take a little time to manifest, to build up. You can put all the energy you want into it, all you fucking want. But when you're working with a spirit, an entity, to help carry this righteous justice, well, you gotta factor in the spirit and entity's behalf. You know, you're on their time. Just like you're on Magick's time. You're on Magick's time. Magick's not on your time. Same thing is applied when working with an entity to help you. Now, I remain open-minded to my brother's point of view, just as well as I hope he remains open-minded to my point of view of this entity carrying out what was asked. And he just came back on July 4th and took my tooth, as I had promised. But things were set in motion towards this person. This person, I use the word lightly, because I can't call her what I really want to call her, because there's no word in the English dictionary to call her what I really want to call her. And another thing that I agree with, and really, it's as old as time itself. Keeping your friends close, your enemies closer. But in this situation, keeping my friends closer and my enemies close. I checked out her Facebook the other day, just out of curiosity. I unblocked her for a month, and she hasn't come back, which is a good sign. Because every time I've unblocked her, or she found me after blocking her, it's always been a week. And it's been a month. Actually, it's been over a month. And she hasn't returned. So that's a good sign. But I checked out her Facebook profile. First of all, she's a very hard person to read. I can read most people, but there's a couple of people I can't read. And there are some people I can read, but it's more of me putting my effort into it, because they're like, damn, you're kind of like a peanut I have to crack the shell on. Sometimes I have to use the end of the knife handle to crack it open. And then there's just some where I can't even crack it. I have to get something stronger to crack the nut shell. And she's one of them. But that's okay, I don't want to read her. I know how she is just by her actions. That's enough for me. But keeping her at a distance. Because I've noticed that any spell work that was being done against me has just kind of slowed down progressively. Methinks she moved on, which is good. Not that it matters, but like I said, well, like I said, she's going to be eating her words, if not already. Which, she needs to be careful about what she says. Because it comes true. It always comes true. What you say and put out into that universe can come right at you. Can come right at you. And it's always for the bad, usually. But I'm going to wrap this video up. I've rambled on too long. I need to check my car battery anyway. So, bottom line, it's all opinions, man. But that's just like your opinion. As the dude. As the fucking dude has always said, that's just like your opinion, man. So that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for listening. And questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comment area. Check out my social media links to come find me. If you want to friend me, hang out with me in the aminos that are Jippy free. Be sure to read the descriptions. Sometimes things don't get put into the video. Sometimes I put funny things in there. You never know. Just be sure to read the description. Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Love y'all.